Two groups of South Dakota educators are speaking out against a legislative bill they argue would take away funding from the state's public schools.
Yesterday, Republican Representative John Hanson introduced a bill that would provide a voucher for students enrolled in private schools. KELOLAND's Lauren Solich takes a closer look at the bill and why both the South Dakota Education Association and the South Dakota School Board Association are in opposition.
If passed, House Bill 1234 would start a voucher program requiring the Department of Education to pay for in-state private school tuition for some South Dakota students. Representative John Hanson of Del Rapids says this will allow parents to be in the driver's seat of their child's education.
Sometimes public school is what works best for families, and that's great. But sometimes a non-public school option is better for them. And so this just is really designed to give families more financial freedom to choose the best educational option that works best for their kid.
The South Dakota Education Association and the Associated School Boards of South Dakota worry this bill would take taxpayer money away from public schools.
And this would be another hit to our public schools who are trying to make do and who do a very good job, but with very limited resources.
We have a significant teacher shortage right now. We need to increase teacher salaries on average so that we can be competitive. Inflation is putting a burden on South Dakota budgets, school budgets. And so adding another program that would essentially send money directly from the state treasury general fund to private schools would have an effect. That would take money away, more money away from public schools, so we couldn't achieve those goals.
And Representative Hanson, I guess the worry for voucher programs like this is if this will take away funding from public schools. What do you kind of say to that worry?
I think that investing in our kids' education is one of the best ways we can spend money as a state. And so whether that's at a public school or a non-public school, I think it's a worthy investment to shift some resources towards the education of the future generation of South Dakotans.
House Bill 1234 has been referred to the House Education Committee, but a hearing has yet to be scheduled. Lauren Solich, KELOLAND News.
Republican Representative Scott Odenbach of Spearfish also introduced an education bill this week that would expand the provision of online education through the South Dakota Virtual School. Odenbach says this bill would bring South Dakota education into the 21st century. But the state's Education Association worries whether schools have the resources to offer both.
I think we saw through the pandemic when schools had to go both in person and online that it was quite a challenge for the personnel. So that would be one of the main factors that we would look at.
But I also think that as far as capacity issues for some students who would be better served not in the public school classroom and maybe their parents want to have them be able to have a virtual option at home, I think it could actually help classroom teachers to a large degree if some of the students that needed it or their parents wanted it could get that kind of virtual education.
House Bill 1233 has also been referred to the House Education Committee. A hearing has yet to be scheduled.
All right.